friends. It is the last week of February. It is Monday, the 26th of February, and I thought I would start a vlog and kind of incorporate the beginnings of March and all the March reading that is going to happen because I think I might start that stuff a little bit early. I've pretty much finished everything that I'm going to finish for February, for Feb Regency and the We Love Jenny readathon, other than I am still studying the book of Jude in the Bible for the We Love Jenny readathon. I don't know if I will finish that by the end of February, but I'm gonna try. I mean, it's a short book in the Bible, so but I'm trying to go really in depth with it. So, and I'm also not making it a priority, which I need to do. So, hopefully the rest of this week I will really hunker down and start taking some more notes on this kind of like the second half of the book of Jude. So, but that's kind of the only thing I have still going. I just this weekend finished the Cenci or the Cenci by Percy Shelley. And that was a play that was about a real historical family where the father, the Cenci, was a horrible, crazy, just horrible person. And his daughter kills him. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I guess that was a spoiler. But my feelings towards that one was it is super long for a play and probably would have worked better as a novel. The subject matter, obviously, is very dark, and I can see why I never ever see it performed. Thank goodness. But I'd kind of be interested to know why Percy Shelley did it as a play and if it was actually ever performed. I didn't really look into all of that, so I'll have to look it up because I just can't imagine it being performed. I kind of loosely buddy read this with Christy from Christy Lewis Dostoevsky in Space. She finished it a while before I did. So I just messaged her this morning to tell her that I finished it and that I really didn't have anything else to say that I hadn't already said to her about it. The language, of course, is beautiful because Percy Shelley was a poet, and the romantic authors kind of enjoyed using more archaic language, so it kind of had a bit of a Shakespeare vibe to it. But the subject matter was not my cup of tea. I'm kind of learning that about the Romantics, that they really don't write things that I am interested in. Unfortunately. That's probably not true for all of them, but for the ones that I read this month, they were not my cup of tea. But that being said, I am also partly through the audiobook for The Romantic Outlaws, which is an autobiography, no, a biography of Mary Wollstonecraft and her daughter, Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein. And Mary Wollstonecraft was an author and kind of a women's rights activist in was it pre-Regency? Yeah, it was pre-Regency era for her. And then Mary Shelley would have been Regency Romantic era. So that is interesting. I'm really enjoying that, and it does make me want to read more by both of them. So I might try to do that another month. But So anyway, for today, I have already finished my reread of the Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis, but I need to go back through the second half and take some notes and, do some highlighting and whatnot for my live show with Krista on her channel on Thursday. So we're reading through letters 16 through the end. I think there are 29 letters, but we're reading through the second half, which I already finished on audiobook, but I want to go back through it with my eyeballs and do some highlighting and stuff. And Krista also generously found a kind of like a study guide from, I think, the C.S. Lewis Institute or something like that. And so I will probably be using that as well to appear more intelligent on the live stream. So yeah, that is all I have going on today. We will see what I can get done. It's a Monday and I have to go into the office. I won't probably get a lot done, but I'm hoping to at least get some note-taking for the Book of Jude and Screwtape Letters done today at work. So, all right, well, I will see you when I have something else to say. Good morning. It is Wednesday, the 28th of February, which would normally be the last day of February, but we have a leap year this year, so tomorrow is the last day of February. But anyway, I have been pulling books off of my shelf for Middle Grade March and March Mystery Madness. And then also, I need to pull my Irish book of like Irish folk lore off my shelf too. I kind of forgot about that for the Irish readathon. But anyway, these are all the books that I have yet to read on my shelves that fit the the category for Middle Grade March, which is this side, and March Mystery Madness, which is this side. I don't know, these books I either just bought at like a library book sale like a really long time ago, so there's like not really an order. Like I'm pretty sure that one's probably not a first in the series. That one I know is not, all the things, but I really need to read them and decide if they are ones that I want to keep. They probably are not. I probably will unhaul them after I'm done with them, but you never know. I might find that it is a series that I want to continue. So, I do know that I am planning on continuing this series, which is I've read like one or two of this. A knitting mystery. I think it's just the knitting mystery series. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm excited about that one. And then these are all the middle grade books that I have on my shelf that are unread. Whittington, I decided to read with my friend Dia after watching her TBR video. And is this the one? Miss Frisby and the Rats of Nim, I am going to be reading with my friend Angie, which, funny story, Angie from, Angie in the Great World. Her channel used to be Literary Labors, so it was having a flashback. But when she moved to Mexico, she was getting rid of a bunch of her books. So when she said something to me, when she saw my picture on Instagram of this, she said to me, like, oh, I was going to read The Rats of Nim too, but I don't have a physical copy. Would you want to read it with me? And I said, well, I'm pretty sure I have your physical copy, because she was getting rid of a bunch of her books on Pango, and I'm pretty sure I ordered that one from Angie. So, sorry, Angie, I have your book, but we are going to read this together. She's apparently going to get an ebook copy or something. There are two other books from each of these piles that are not on this pile because they are the ones I'm going to start with. So I will show those to you next. So these are the two books that I plan to start on, well, let's be honest, maybe tomorrow. But my mother got me this for Christmas. So I don't know anything about it, but it is supposedly a mystery. And I don't mind reading Christmassy type stuff when it is not Christmas anymore. And then this one, I have had for years. I believe I won this in a, like, kind of one of those game show type things that Krista and the other middle grade March hosts used to do. It might have even been the first or second middle grade March, but I won this, and I have yet to actually read it. So I feel like this will be a prompt for stories I missed out on, or whatever that prompt is, because I keep putting it on my TBR every March and I never get to it. So I'm just gonna start with it, and there's no audio book, so I am just going to start it. And yeah, it looks like it's not like it's middle grade, so it's not like, super small font or anything. So hopefully I can bust that out in the first few days of March. And then this one, I believe I did maybe see an audiobook for, so I may do it that way, but we'll see. I should just, if I have physical books, I should just read them that way. Oh, and here is the Book of Fairy Tales and Folklores of Ireland, edited by Yates. And it's coming off as way more blue in the camera, but it is definitely an emerald green. So I don't know why it's coming off this weird color, but I try to read like a few stories out of here every year, or poems or something like that. So it even has some illustrations. So yeah, that's the plan. We'll see. But yeah, maybe I'll try to read like a poem or a story a day up through St. Patrick's Day. That sounds like a good plan. We'll try it. Good morning. It is March 1st. Happy middle grade March. Happy March Mystery Madness. Happy Irish Readathon month. And probably a bunch of other things that I don't even know about, because it seems like March is the readathon time, that and October. So anyway, just wanted to let you know what I'm going to start reading today. I don't actually know how much I will get read today, because I have a friend from college coming to visit me this evening. She's going to stay overnight and kind of stay, I'm assuming, most of the day tomorrow, and then go home. So it's just like a quick visit, but then at the same time, it's going to take up my evening tonight and probably most of tomorrow, where there won't be much reading or probably crafting done. Although I think I might do some crafting tonight while we like chat and stuff. So, but anyway, for March Mystery Madness, I am going to be starting Owl Be Home for Christmas by Donna Andrews. I don't know anything about this book other than it is a mystery. My mom got this for me for Christmas from Ollie's. And she recently asked me if I'd read it yet. And I said, well, no, I'm going to wait till next Christmas now, or like July, for Christmas in July. And then I realized that, we had March Mystery Madness. So I was like, well, I'll just read it for March Mystery Madness. I don't need to be a seasonal reader. So I will just read whatever, whenever. So let's see, what does this say? This is the 26th book and the 6th Christmas mystery in the Meg Langslow series, which I've never read, obviously. And apparently I'm going to be like my friend Sarah, the bookish knitter, and read things out of order. But a lot of times in cozy mysteries, it really doesn't matter. So anyway, this obviously follows Meg Langslow. It's the few days before Christmas, and Meg's grandfather is hosting Owl Fest, a scientific conference on owls at the elegant, oh, I don't even know how to say it, Caerphilly Inn. So then there's a snowstorm. There's a murder. Yes, okay, there's a murder. So, and it sounds like it's like closed circle mystery kind of thing, because they're in an inn during a snowstorm and somebody gets murdered. So that ought to be enjoyable. And then for middle grade March, I am going to start Storm of Strawberries by Joe Cottrell. Cotterill? I don't know. But this is going to fit the prompt of a book I missed out on, because I believe that I won this book during the first middle grade March, and Krista had read it, and I believe this is the copy that, I mean, I know she gave it away, but and I won it in a game in one of her lives. So, and she read it, and I believe that she enjoyed it. And so, but I've just since then never gotten to it. It's always every middle grade March, it's on my TBR, and I never pick it up. I never get around to reading it. So this time I am going to start with it in middle grade March. That way I will get it done. The only thing I remember about this is I believe the main character has Down syndrome, I believe. I don't know. I can't even see this now. But yeah, I believe that she has Down syndrome. So if I'm wrong, I will let you know when I update you. But that's partly why I was really interested in this book. So yay. I am going to, I think, take a couple hours off at the end of today to kind of finish up getting ready for my friend to stay over tonight. So I might get some reading done, because I really don't have that much to do, and she's only staying one night. But I'm just one of those people that I need to clean before somebody comes, and I need to have my house look tidy. So there's a little bit more of that to do before she gets here. I ended up having to stay late at work last night, which doesn't happen very often, and I was sort of irritated by it. So I'm going to see if my boss will just let me leave a little bit early today to kind of make up for it. So, and that'll help me to get ready tonight. So, but anyway, I'm rambling, so I'm going to finish my coffee and get on the road to work. And I will update you when I have something to say. Well, hello. It is Thursday, the 7th of March right now. And I finished my first March Mystery Madness book. I finished I'll Will Be Home for Christmas by Donna Andrews. I did like this one, and I don't feel like you needed to have read the other books in the series to have enjoyed this one. So that's a plus. In this we follow Meg Langslow, as you do when the series is named after you. And she is helping with an event at a hotel that is a owl conference, and with a group of scientists. This is set in a college town, so it's a perfect place for a lot of professors to show up for a conference. And it's Carfilly Hotel, which I don't know if that's a real place. I didn't think to look it up. But Carfilly, Virginia, I think is where this is set. So I didn't think to look that up, but wonder if it's a real place. If you know, let me know. But Meg, I don't know. I can't remember if it said that she is an event planner or she's just helping a friend who owns the hotel. I can't remember. But her grandfather is a scientist, a biologist, I guess. So he is kind of hosting this conference on owls. And there is a debate about overpopulation of a certain species of owl that is kind of pushing out another species of owl. Is that the right term, species? Anyway, so, and of course, there's lots of fighting. There's one guy in this conference that everybody hates, and guess who dies? That guy. So I thought this was really good. It had some twists and turns in it that I wasn't really expecting, but I kind of thought might happen once we got to a certain point in the book. I was like, this isn't over yet. We're gonna find out some other stuff. And I was right. So, but the only thing I would say knocked it down a little bit for me was that there was a little bit more language than I like in a cozy, and it was a little bit edgier in the language and in like sexual innuendo type of thing. But it wasn't like super out of place. Like it was realistic, I thought, like the way probably normal people talk nowadays. But I don't know. I guess just I have gotten to the point in cozy mysteries where I just have a thing that I like in cozy mysteries, and it's like nobody swears and nobody has intimate times. Which I know is hilarious. And but it's weird. Like I curse a little, and and like it doesn't like necessarily bother me in real life unless it's like a lot. But for some reason I don't always like it in the books I'm reading. It just seems jarring to me, which is weird. But that being said, it wasn't like a ton, and it's realistic for like the way people actually talk, probably in most circles. So it wasn't like too much, and it wasn't like church crowd. So, but yeah, it was a little bit edgier than I typically like in my cozies, but so it maybe knocked it down a tad. But it was nice to see that Meg is, which this might be a spoiler if you're reading the series and you're not to this point in the series, so maybe skip this, but Meg is married with 2 little boys in this one. So that's kind of nice to see that a married person solving these mysteries, because usually it seems like it tends to be a single girl solving mysteries. She's like the business owner or whatever, and she gets into some kind of a scrape with the local law enforcement who, is kind of grumpy but ends up falling in love with her. That typically tends to be the formula. And at least in this one, Meg's husband is not law enforcement. So I don't know if they've been married this entire series or what. So that was kind of nice and different to see. So I did enjoy this. It was probably like 3.5 stars for me, though, just kind of middle of the road. I don't think it tempted me to read the other 25-ish books in the series prior to this, but it was nice for a kind of Christmassy read. It wasn't super Christmassy, though. The cover was probably the most Christmassy thing about it, to be honest with you, until the end. The end was a little bit more festive. So yeah, that is my first March Mystery Madness book. So I'm gonna have to pick what to read next for that readathon. Hi, friends. It is Monday, March 11th, I believe. 10th, 11th? Not really sure. I think it's the 11th. And I didn't really feel like getting on camera today, so I thought that I would end this vlog with kind of a sad report that I DNF'd A Storm of Strawberries. I just thought that the beginning was really, really boring. Nothing really was happening other than a storm is brewing on the main character's strawberry farm. The main character is a 12-year-old girl with Down syndrome. So, I mean, that part was a little bit interesting, kind of getting insight into like how she thinks and that kind of thing. But just nothing really happened for like the first 70 pages. And then at 70 pages, her older siblings, a stepbrother and her biological sister, were like teenagers, and they were just, well, the stepbrother was just really irritating, and something kind of happens with him and the sister, and it was just odd. And I thought too mature for a middle grade book that didn't need to happen. And then another thing was introduced that I also thought was too mature for a book about a girl with Down syndrome who is 12, but, reads a little bit younger because of her Down syndrome. But either way, I just thought that the theme was too mature for a middle grade book. I don't think that those kind of things need to be in books for kids. So, yeah, I just decided I wasn't even going to try to push through, even though it's like an easy to read kids book. I just decided I was going to put it down and move on. So there's that. So to replace that middle grade book, I am starting Whittington with my friend Dia from Novel Idea. And I would say that it probably is a middle grade book. There are some like kind of sad farm happenings already, and like we've read through the first 5 chapters, and there's some like, for me as a middle grader, I would have been grossed out by a couple of things that happened in this book, but it's not like super dwelled on or anything. So it is what it is. If you're an older middle grade kid, I think you could probably stomach a couple of those things that they talk about, because they don't dwell on it or anything. It's just, it is what it is. It happened, and I think it's kind of going to set up Whittington's role on the farm in later chapters. So yeah, I think it's probably geared maybe towards an 11 or 12-year-old, probably more like a 10 and 11-year-old. But I will report back in my next vlog. But so far, I am enjoying this one. I think it's really cute. It's told from the farm animal's perspective, sort of. It's like told from a narrator, so it's not first person or anything, but you can hear what the animals are thinking, and the animals talk to each other and things like that. So it's really cute. So that is that for the first 2 weeks of March. So not as much middle grade or mystery has been read as I would have liked, but I'm also reading a couple of Victorian novels. So, but I will try to have a little bit more middle grade and mysteries in the next vlog. So I will report back on what I think of Whittington when I get it finished. So check back in my next vlog for that review. All right, friends, have a great second half of your March reading. Bye.